it's not a typo. I really do think I've already made the best purchase of 2019. Now, there was a 7th New Year's resolution of the 6th that I listed in the film above, and that was that I was not going to buy any more equipment, save one piece of equipment that I want for my Modular Mondays, which is a recorder device, which I think is going to be made by Tascam. However, the beginning of the year didn't go well. You may or may not have noticed that I limped into shot somewhat. Basically, about 2 days into the new year, I was trying to do a piece to camera on that stone that you've seen me do on that block over there. And jumped up onto the stone and I tore my calf muscle, so I basically couldn't walk for a couple of days. Then the cold that I've had that will not go away impacted into my sinuses into an acute form of sinusitis. You know, the type where you, a little bit scary, the type where you want to drill into your face to release the fluid. So I went for the cure-all that is the internet and my credit card and bought something truly magnificent. Now, there are 3 gentlemen who cost me a lot of money. There's Paul, my business partner at Spitfire Audio. Now, we have this brotherly equipment equilibrium that if I buy something, Paul has to, and if Paul buys something, I have to. It's not like we have to put the same number of hours a week into Spitfire, but if we don't maintain this equipment equilibrium, there's a kind of disorder in the universe. The second chap is a guy who's in a band, and often we'll look at one of these videos and go, hey Christian, notice you've got a lunchbox. Have you checked out this company? All of the circuitry is made at NASA with unicorn teeth and gold-plated mercury diamonds. And then there's a chap who's in lots of bands called Leo, guitarist Leo Abrahams, who I see less frequently. Mainly because whenever I meet him, he brings along a piece of kit that is kind of incredibly expensive and niche, and this is where the story begins today. The Plus Pedal by Game Changer Audio, an audio sustain pedal, I kid you not. And I think the best way to demonstrate this pedal is by using some form of guitar instrument, something that has a natural decay that you want to sustain. I think I'm going to get killed by a Swan today. So not being a guitarist, this is the only guitar instrument I own, no joke, that can plug in. Okay, so I've got the Big Sky joined up, but it's not on for now. So let's just go through how this thing works. So on the side, we've got a split and a mix. So I'm going to go mix, and then we should, if we turn the blend all the way down, it should be the raw in all its glory. We turn blend halfway up. We should get the pedal. Now, the amount that sustains is described by the sustain here. So I think what will happen is if I turn this all the way up, it will stay bright for longer. So we turn that about halfway, it'll give it a slightly more natural sound. Beautiful stuff. Now the tail is basically like your release. Off it goes. We put it on long. Takes forever and a day to kind of cancel itself there. And then the rise is, I think, like the attack. So let's turn that all the way down. So if we go like this. Used in combination with the tail. And I think it's almost kind of polyphonic to 2, so it can overlap 2 sets of sustain files. So if you go, Beautiful stuff. So I'm going to keep these all around here, and I'm just going to switch it to split. Now it's got a send and a return with group and single. I don't know how these work, but I know when you hit it to split, it basically splits these two outs here. So you've got your clean out, which will be the direct signal from that, and the out from this. Again, really, really handy. So all we'll hear now is the sustain element. So what I'll do is I'll play again, but I'm going to keep the lav mic on so you can actually hear me as a non-guitarist kind of finding different chords, and that's the kind of beauty of this. If you've got your monitoring right, you can really kind of jam over it, and it's almost like being a DJ kind of previewing stuff, and once you're happy, you just kind of send it in. Again, I think you're probably noticing that I'm hitting the sustain after the notes. I think if you hit it on the notes, you'll hear it makes a kind of a more of a granular sound, which I'm not really after, but I'll just demonstrate that to you. I mean, it has its uses, but it's slightly less sophisticated. Now, when you use this in combination with something like a Big Sky, with the mix all the way up, it is pretty profound. So let's hit this on and check this out. Okay, I'm going to switch to this setting here, which kind of pitches it up as well, and I just think it's extraordinary sound. Quite an extraordinary piece of kit that I'm going to actually buy a proper guitar to work with this on this. So I wondered what it would sound like with the piano, which naturally sustains, and in fact the results are pretty amazing. So I'm going to basically unplug this and plug one of these mics direct into this. Now it's going to be carrying a much hotter signal, so I'm going to need to duck it right back, and it probably is going to overdrive it, but that's not always the worst case scenario. The mics have got them turned right down, so it's not giving this too much. I do like have a converter pedal somewhere, which I probably could have employed, but just want to give you a kind of a taste without the blue sky of this pedal working with the piano. Love those bits of distortion, so if I play heavier, it'll distort the pedal. And then again, if we stick it through this, it should be pretty awesome. Oh, things took a turn for the worse there. So, best buy of 2019. It's going to be hard to beat that thing. I can just, the number of, I've even got my recorder out to experiment with it. What I love about it, it's a performance device, and that's what this is all going to be about for me. If I had one request from Game Changer Audio, would be to do an alternative version without the kind of piano style sustain and just with a stomp box. The idea of having several of these linked up to instruments and being able to create drones with CVs altering kind of changes within the kind of effects change is a delectable one. So that's my kind of big wish for Game Changer Audio. It's not a cheap pedal. It cost me about £299, which I guess is nearly $400 for something that is very niche, but a niche that I'm looking forward to investigating. Thanks as always for watching. Before I start getting kind of pecked at by these horrific swans, you can't beat up swans in the UK because the Queen owns them all. Before I do that, if you can hit one of those, if you've liked this video, that would be great. If you haven't subscribed yet, there might be some more equipment coming in 2019. And if you'd like to be notified the next time we put a film up, just hit that little bell button. But until next time, I'll leave you to the swans. Oh, my bloody leg.